Hello, hello, people of the internet, and welcome to a new installment of Rafa's Toy Studio, the place where I get to talk about those toys that everyone should totally check out. And right now, I get to share my Dean Ambrose WWE Elite Figure action figures. And overall, whether you love wrestling or don't really care for it, that doesn't matter, because I'm about to go Dean Ambrose on everybody. It is no secret that I love professional wrestling. Ever since I was a kid, I loved Hulk Hogan. I loved The Ultimate Warrior. Growing up during the Ruthless Aggression era, I watched but wasn't really paying too much attention until the Ruthless Aggression era came about. Introduction of John Cena. I loved Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, all of these high flyers and technical wrestlers. It was a time that wrestling was at its best. SmackDown, Raw, didn't matter. I watched it, I loved it, I wanted to be a wrestler. And in the current era, one of the wrestlers that I really, really enjoy is Dean Ambrose. And whether you love him or you hate him, you have to respect him because right now he is WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, depending on when you're watching this video, he could still be champion, he might have lost the championship, or he could be champion again. Doesn't really matter. This guy is my guy. The lunatic fringe, the Iron Man of the WWE, warden of the Ambrose Asylum, the dude, Dean Ambrose. And overall, I really want to talk about a little bit of his history while also discussing the specific toys that I have in my collection. So let's begin. So first of all, to start off, all of these are Dean Ambrose, and you can kind of tell that the first two here don't look at all similar to the last two. And that's because these were different phases that Dean Ambrose went through, and specifically, these are part of the WWE Elite Series action figures by Mattel Toys. And kind of from how it's advertised, they have extreme articulation, right? They have amazing accuracy, whatever the fuck that means, and they have authentic details, which is 100% true because that looks like the fucking lunatic fringe right there. Look at this fucking lunatic face. Look at that fucking face. Crazy. But regardless, ultimately, these things have amazing face mold because Shield era Ambrose looks like Ambrose. This one not as much, but he's pissed off, which is kind of cool. And then with Lunatic Fringe Ambrose, it really showcases in the way that he sticks out his tongue and he just looks insane. So overall, these 6-inch figures are really, really fun to play with and they're very accurate. And honestly, even though he started off in the Shield and we had him, in his combat vest, his Hounds of Justice, realistically, everything could have been worse because Mattel came out with this horrendous Dean Ambrose toy. Look at that fucking face. I don't know what they... And look at these pants. These pants are horrible. I don't know what they were going for, but this basic toy, because this is one of the ones that they came out with, specifically one of the basic lines, sucks. The first Dean Ambrose toy that I ever got was from my great friend David Torado. Shout out to you, David. You fucking rock. Thank you for getting my first Dean Ambrose toy. And I got him as a birthday present because David knew that I loved Dean Ambrose even from his early days in the Shield. I always thought he'd be the breakout star. He was just so cool and calculated with the slick back hair and bad attitude. He was just ready to fight anybody. And so, that's what I loved about him. But specifically with this figure, he is part of the WWE Elite Series 25 Dean Ambrose action figures. He came with a chair and a handheld camera. And I have those accessories, but they're in a box somewhere, so I don't have them with me right now. But ultimately, this face mold was pretty good. He has kind of lazy eyes. He looks really pissed off. But the combat vest is very cool. It's very detailed. It's kind of rubbery. He's got his gloves. He's got his combat boots. And looks everything from the era of the Shield. So overall, this Dean Ambrose toy is really, really sweet. And I really, really dig this one. However, not as much as the WWE Elite Series 31 Dean Ambrose action figure, which came with the United States Championship belt, which is right here, and also came with the dog tag and another camcorder. This is Dean Ambrose. He just loves to take fucking videos of people, I guess. But overall, this one a little bit sleeker in design, having just the shirt with the Hounds of Justice logo right here, combat boots and everything, and in this case, The face is very different, a little bit more likeness to Ambrose, lighter hair. But this was the Ambrose that won the WWE United States Championship from Kofi Kingston and started his pretty badass longest reign as current, under the current WWE banner, United States Championship for 351 days. Though he didn't really defend it a lot because he was in the Shield and kicking ass with Seth and Roman, still, it was pretty cool. And this toy is a little bit more movable. You can utilize him for a couple more things, ready to be in a street fight, depending what he's got to do, right? Doing his DDT finisher. And whether it's his original Dirty Deeds, which happened to be a headlock driver, and he kind of went forward with it. Later, his Dirty Deeds basically became kind of more of a snap double underhook DDT, and kind of what we all see today. But regardless, both of these figures are really cool and part of the Shield era of Dean Ambrose. And the likeness is really, really cool. And the articulation is great, especially more than the basic figures. Now, the next Dean Ambrose toy that I want to say I got was the WWE Elite Series 36 action figure, which came with the badass hooded vest, as you can see here, DA, and the awesome kendo stick that he used all the time to basically beat the shit out of Seth Rollins, right? But no, I didn't get this Elite figure just yet. First, they came out with the WWE Signature Series 2014 basic figure, which I already showed you, this horrendous counterpart. I mean, just looking at the difference between the Elite and the basic, the pants are very different, a little bit darker shade here, closer to the boots, whereas here they're just like bell bottoms almost. And even though the body mold isn't bad, you know, with his white, gray tank top, this Dean Ambrose, the face is just wrong. He looks derpy. He has some kind of weird mouth thing going on. And so this Dean is much better, more fits the lunatic character that he portrays, and he's a lot better. He's just ready. And this Dean was, you know, the cool Dean, because this is the one that fought Seth Rollins time and time again, whether it was at Money in the Bank or Hell in a Cell, those iconic matches which made people so hype on the Rollins-Ambrose rivalry for so long, with his jacket and just the way that he would overcome the odds or even just lose time and time again. This was a classic rivalry, and I get to forever have these moments and relive them whenever I want. And whether, like I said, he's fighting Bray Wyatt or he's facing off against Triple H, Y2J, Luke Harper, whoever, this Dean Ambrose characterizes everything that I like about the character. There is a lot of spunk in his face. He's ready to brawl, and I think that's really cool because the character itself, the articulation is great, but the face mold, thank you, Mattel. Thank you so much for making these awesome WWE figures that look so much like their WWE superstar counterparts. I can forgive certain transgressions. You know, I can forgive them. You know, sometimes things happen. But overall, when you do it right, you do it right. Also, though the Elite Series 41 Ambrose is already out, that comes with an awesome cop hat and 2 nightsticks when he decided to mess up Seth again, I don't have it because, of course, Yuma doesn't have any of the new WWE action figures out, and it's very frustrating. So I got tired of waiting, and I really wanted a Dean Ambrose that was more modern, that came with the black tank top. And so I got another Elite Series 36, took off the jacket that he's wearing here, same toy, and I just kind of customly painted his shirt. And I mean, as customs go, I don't think it's that bad. I used acrylic paint and it's black and it's good enough and it looks good. I mean, you can see kind of towards the edges there that it's not as clean and crisp as it should be, but that's okay. This isn't supposed to be that professional. Hell, I'm just using a camcorder and my phone, and this is just a natural way of me just kind of going, hey, I do things and I enjoy it. And so Dean Ambrose is no exception, and so I decided to make a custom, and the custom was okay. I'm happy with it. But regardless, so this Ambrose, same toy, same 36 Ambrose that I have here, but this one, again, with the black tank top to make him more accurate with the current WWE World Heavyweight Championship that he has. And so Ambrose has all the gold in this picture, well, excluding the US title. And I'm just excited because I have so many of these wacky lunatics in my house. And so that's my Dean Ambrose collection. And whether he's WWE World Heavyweight Champion, your longest reigning WWE United States Champion, WWE Intercontinental Champion, or whether he's rocking the Dirty Deeds headlock driver or snap double underhook DDT, using the Regal stretch again, using the hook and ladder, going off that suicide dive, and then utilizing that rebound lariat, he is the best, and he is awesome, and I have had so much fun playing with this fucking toy. Because ultimately, wrestling, again, is, something that you live vicariously through others, and by having these awesome figures that look so realistic, it really puts you into the action, and it gets you excited to relive some of your favorite moments. And whether it's him beating up Bray Wyatt, or him beating the shit out of Seth, or getting the shit kicked out of him by Seth, doesn't really matter. Ultimately, these toys are a lot of fun, and that is the entire purpose of having these action figures. And so always remember, I'm not a professional. I don't necessarily collect toys. I like to play with toys. And that's why I will always recommend that you take them out of the box and just have adventures with them, because that's what they're for, and they're super awesome fun. And so with that, I leave you with always remembering to enjoy the plastic.